Hades is by far one of the best games of 2020 and is my personal pick for Game of the Year. Hades is an action roguelike that does a lot of things differently with some nice fresh takes on the genre. I've played my fair share of different roguelikes over the years, but this one really takes things to a different level. The gameplay, music, art, story, and progression are all well polished and make you wish that other developers would approach their big titles with the same level of care and effort to detail. This game is really something incredible, and to top it off, it's only 25 bucks. I even got mine during a sale where it was 20% off, making it only 20. I easily sunk in 100 hours to this game so far, and I still have so much left to do and unlock. With all that being said, I want to get into why this game is so great, and don't worry, I'll be sure not to spoil anything from the story. You play as Zagreus, who is the son of Hades and prince of the underworld, and your entire goal is to fight through your way of endless enemies and to escape to the surface. You get a variety of different weapons to use, from your standard sword, spear, shield, and then you even get ranged weapons such as a bow and a gun. The weapons all give you a huge switch up on how you play the game, and to top that off, every weapon has different forms that you can unlock and even upgrade to give them special attacks or different abilities. Playing through the game also will give you a lot of different resources that you can use in your main hub world, allowing for you to further enhance and upgrade not just the weapons, but you can also use it to upgrade yourself. There is a giant mirror that you can go to that allows for you to spend purple gems on a variety of different upgrades that you realize fairly quickly into the game that help you immensely. When you first start the game, you don't have any of these unlocks, and it makes escaping the underworld pretty difficult. However, as you slowly climb your way through, you find yourself getting closer and closer to the surface after every death. Every time I died, I found myself actually being excited because I could spend my points and get even stronger for the next run. It felt like a very satisfying yet slow progression that made things all more rewarding when you can finally reach that goal. The natural slow progression of the constant small little upgrades each run is something other roguelikes don't really have. Whenever you play a run of Risk of Rain or Binding of Isaac, you generally start every run fresh, and the only progression you seem to have are just character unlocks. It's nothing at all like Hades, where not only do you get a sense of accomplishment going through each run, gaining a little bit of extra power at a time, you also find yourself progressing through the story in the same way. There are a lot of characters, and each one has different storylines that sometimes connect with other characters, and you only get a little bit of progression by talking to them through different runs. Once you go through and finish these storylines, you get rewarded from items or keepsake upgrades, which really encourages you to talk to everybody you meet. The gameplay itself is really addicting. You have a lot of intense action-packed fights and boss fights with a lot of fun mechanics. You slowly learn just how important not getting hit is. This game can be very punishing if you try to go in for extra damage instead of playing it safe. So this is kind of where the roguelike elements come in. Every room will have enemies, and after you kill them, you will get a reward, and then you get a choice of what room to fight in next. Before you choose the next room, you get to see what the rewards will be, so you can decide how you want to move through the dungeon. You can decide if you want to go for the smaller but easier upgrade, or go for the greedy one that may be a more difficult fight. The rewards you get have a huge impact in your playstyle for each run. First off, you can choose a boon from one of the many famous gods of Olympus. You can choose from Zeus, Poseidon, Ares, Hermes, and many more. Each god generally has a gimmick attached to their upgrades. When you get one of their boons, you get 3 different options to choose from. A lot of these boons have very powerful effects that can give you a lot of additional damage, survivability, and sometimes little gimmicks such as weakening enemies, charming them, pushing people away, deflecting, and many more. Throughout your runs, you will collect a lot of boons, and it will make everything very different. This is what gives the game a ton of replayability. You will also find other really unique rewards, such as the Daedalus Hammer. This upgrade will give you 3 options to choose from that give you a crazy new effect to your weapon itself, allowing for you to do some crazy new things on each attack. The hammer upgrades are some of the best, and I think that they are the most powerful. I always try to go for these whenever I can. You can say in your head before a run starts that you have a plan, and you are going to try and aim for a certain build at the start. But once the right hammer buff comes along, that plan goes straight into the trash.
Yes, absolutely. Wow! Frank, what the hell are you doing, man?
That's my character. I'm the trash man.
Now, one thing that I love about this game compared to other roguelikes is that the 3 choices you always get is very fun to decide on. These buffs are not always so clear on which one is the best. A lot of the time, these buffs are equally good and makes for a pretty difficult decision. This is something that I love doing. Making tough choices on how I want to customize my character and play is something that every RPG fan enjoys doing. Whenever I play games like Risk of Rain, they don't really do this. You simply just kill everything in sight, get all of the money or coins, and then you just spend all of it on random chests to get your random upgrades. There isn't any decision making, and I find that being an important element to what makes roguelikes so much more fun. All of these different buffs you can get alter the playstyle in a pretty crazy way, except for the Palms of Power, which basically just straight upgrade the damage. While the Palms of Power are a bit on the boring side of things, there are ways for you to maximize their effectiveness. For example, you can get the keepsake Palm Blossom, which will give you a random palm buff every few encounters. So you may not go for as many boons with this build, but the ones you do get will be really buffed out of their minds. While you could try to go for a minimal boon setup build, I find it to be a bit less fun. Like I said before, having a lot of cool decisions to make is where a lot of the fun comes in from Hades. And so while Palms of Power are a decent and fun little upgrade you can get, all around it just isn't so much fun to just go for those all the time. I'd rather just go for the boons. You can also find things such as Centaur Hearts, which can help increase your maximum health, and gold coins that allow you to buy a bunch of items from the store. Coins and hearts can be rather helpful when starting out since they help you survive longer. Coins can be used on food, which is in every shop you find, so you can heal yourself, and of course more health will help make your fights way more forgiving on you as you are trying to learn the game. If you are new and just starting out, I definitely recommend for going for health and healing items whenever possible so you have a bit more time to learn the mechanics of the game. Eventually you will also find items called keepsakes. This is something you can equip similar to a weapon that has a very powerful effect. By equipping it and using it a lot during your runs, you can also even upgrade it, and the effects can range from things like bonus health, dealing additional damage, or other odd various things that can help you out on your runs. You have all of these different items and upgrades that you can equip, giving you so many different combinations to try out, and each time you do, the runs change up the gameplay so much that it makes this game have an amount of replayability that I don't get from other roguelikes. On top of all of these things, once you finally beat the game, you unlock the Pact of Punishment, which essentially allows you to make the game even more difficult. Once you finally start to get all of the unlocks and upgrades, you find that the game starts becoming a lot easier and easier to escape, and the Pact of Punishment changes that. You can make the enemies do more damage, have more enemies, or my personal favorite, you can add new mechanics entirely to all of the boss fights. All of these new challenges make the game fresh again, especially since by this point you probably have a lot of hours put in, so things are starting to become a little bit easier for you. Bringing some new mechanics entirely to the run with new rewards for the effort was a fantastic idea by Supergiant Games. The only downsides I have for this game is that I wish there was more content. While there are 4 different levels you have to fight through before getting to the surface, this game leaves me wanting so much more. Unfortunately, Supergiant Games isn't really known for doing DLC, so I can only really hope that a sequel for this game is made, or maybe they have some sort of gameplay update in the future. Getting more enemies, new levels, more boons, more weapons, maybe new characters, new storylines, upgrades. There's really a lot of stuff that they could add to this game to take it even further. Overall, I'm a really huge fan of this game, and for the low price of $25 or even $20 once on sale, there isn't really a reason why you guys shouldn't try to add this to your Steam wishlist. It might even go on sale even further than 20% in the future. I give this game a solid 9 out of 10. I absolutely love it. I'm going to continue playing it and continue supporting Supergiant Games. They make a lot of great stuff, and it's a very small indie game company. It's the kind of company that I love sending my money to, unlike somebody like EA.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Superhero landing!
やれやれです我が神なり昇竜拳イエスイエス昇竜拳パンチ1億ボルトバーリー insane pace. Right here, this is the 112. Right here, yes! Fucking... Dude, what a rush! What a rush! Look at the fucking pace!
Anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.